Harpies were described as ugly creatures with wings, and later writers carried their notions of the harpies so far as to represent them as most disgusting monsters. Welcome to my channel Enlightenment in the Darkness. A harpy, also known as a harpia, is a part bird, part woman monster in Greek mythology. Known as the hounds of Zeus, they were the personification of storm winds and were under the command of Zeus, who would send them out during storms to do his bidding. If a person or object went missing, it would be blamed on the harpies. Harpies are described as having long, fair hair and the face and upper body of a woman, but the tails, legs, claws and wings of a bird of prey. In earlier accounts, the harpies were described as beautiful young women with wings, who were the personification of windy or stormy weather. Over time, they have developed into the hideous creatures that we know them as today. They were horrible to look at and whatever they touched gave off a horrendous smell. In the stories of Jason and Argonauts, the harpies were depicted as bird-like creatures with bodies like vultures, ears like bears, and a woman's face. In the Aeneid, the harpies' description is written as the following: with virgin faces, but with wombs obscene, foul paunches, and with ordure still unclean, with claws for hands, and looks forever lean. In the ancient Greek world, the harpies were sent by the gods, namely Zeus, Hera and Athena, to punish people who had angered the gods. They were under the dominion of Zeus and were often referred to as the hounds of Zeus. The harpies were seen as being bad luck as they could come out of nowhere, steal, destroy property, and wreak havoc on people's lives. They were always ravenous and would steal food or eat their victims before carrying them away. If a person or object suddenly disappeared into thin air, the common conclusion would be that a harpy had carried them off in their sharp talons. The myth most famously associated with the harpies is the tale of King Phineus. King Phineus was the king of Thrace who had offended the gods. In the most famous version of the myth, he had remarried after his first wife had died, and in his eagerness to make his new bride happy, he allowed her to torture his children. In other versions, King Phineus was given the gift of prophecy but infuriated the gods by revealing too many of their plans. As punishment, Phineus was blinded, and the gods sent the harpies to torment him. The harpies refused to let him eat by constantly snatching his food or spoiling it with their foul stench. As a result, Phineus never got enough to eat and started wasting away. He was finally saved by Jason and the Argonauts, who had stopped over in Thrace during their journey to collect the Golden Fleece. Two of the Argonauts, Calais and Zeus, the brothers of Phineus' first wife, wanted to kill the harpies, but their sister, Iris, persuaded the Argonauts to spare them if they promised to keep away from King Phineus. The Harpies were then driven off to the Strophiades Islands. Aeneas was a Trojan hero and the son of the goddess Aphrodite. After the Trojan War ended and Troy was destroyed, Aeneas received a prophecy that he would found a great city, Rome. He traveled far and wide, ending up in the Strophiades Islands, where the Harpies were living at the time. Aeneas and his men hunted some goats and cattle for food, but as they sat down to enjoy their feast, the Harpies swooped down, grabbed their food, and spread their stinking filth. We feed with hunger, and the bowls go round, when from the mountain tops, with hideous cry, and clattering wings, the hungry Harpies fly. They snatch the meat, defiling all they find, and parting, leave a loathsome stench behind. Aeneas and his men moved to another spot, but the same thing happened. Aeneas ordered his men to fight the Harpies, but their weapons could not harm them. Cheleno, the leader of the Harpies, told the men that they would suffer terrible hunger for trying to kill her and her sisters and would not be able to found a city until they had grown so hungry that they had eaten their tables. Today, the term harpy can sometimes be used to describe a mean, heartless woman. However, the Harpies can also be viewed as strong female characters who represent male fears about female power and who are ultimately a symbol of the feminist movement. Harpies are associated with both vultures and eagles, lending their name to one of the largest and most awe-inspiring eagle species, the harpy eagle. Much like the mythological harpies, the harpy eagle swoops down, seemingly out of thin air, to snatch up its prey in its talons. So what are your thoughts about the harpy? Please feel free to comment below. I wish to thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Enlightenment in the Darkness. Many blessings to the rest of your day.